Testing. Yay. Howdy, folks. Dave Yelk here on Mr. Danny, trying out some new technology. I have a chest-mounted, pretty cheaply made bracket to hold my smartphone while I ride, but thought I might as well try it out, see if it works, just for grins. So in case anybody cares, they can go for a ride along with me. But this is an easy one because this is Mr. Danny. He's been with me for a while. And there's other videos on my YouTube channel of me working with him and getting him squared away. And I need to put a video with his owner on from yesterday, 2 hours worth of video, I think. So where do we want to go? Let's go back this way. Now, I'll tell you right now, this is not a motion stabilized mount. I don't know. I didn't even look to see if I've got a mode setting on my Samsung to do video stabilization recording. So this might get a little sickening to the eyeballs. I have no idea. Hopefully I've got it pointed at the right angle and height for y'all. We're at Whitney Forest outside of Warrenton, Virginia. It's a Virginia state forest that permits horseback riding. Fun place to ride. Not that big, but it's crisscrossed with trails and creeks. Once all the leaves drop like it has today, you can see almost clean through it, except there's ridge lines that block the view. And once all the leaves come out in the spring, you can't even see folks on a trail next to you. The foliage gets nice and dense. So, really nice place to ride. Parking lot is tiny. With no cars in it, once I got 6 rigs arranged in it, but generally 2 or 3 rigs max. And it's helpful if you have some help from somebody that knows the best way to put them in, and if there's too many vehicles there, cars parked in which ways, it can be a PIA. But get here early. This morning there were no cars. It's a Monday morning. No cars at all parked in the parking lot at 10 o'clock. So I'm letting Mr. Danny have full control of his head, put his head at any elevation he wants. I'm worrying more about steering. At the beginning here, he has a tendency to run heavy on his forehand. He's 5 years old and he's 15 or 1600 pounds. He's basically, his mass has outgrown his strength. His rear end needs a lot more strength in it. He has trouble popping his shoulders up for the canters, and it's just his head, neck, and shoulders are just so beefy. He's heavy on the forehand. And of course, with letting him have his head down, it's going to make it worse so. But we're going to do this while we warm up, and later on, I'll ask him to have his head up and back a little more, so we can get more weight on his back end, get him off his forehand. And one of the main reasons I like to come out on the trail like this is I can teach a lot out here. There's so many lessons that you can't learn in an arena involving other horses, reaching back to the rider. The arena is too easy. There's no need to reach back to the rider, and it's boring, and the horse only sees a fence in front of it all the time, so it doesn't understand. When you ask it to go, you need to usually apply an artificial aid or a lot of legs constantly, wearing out their legs, whereas out here, they're forward naturally, and you can use that. So I get them forward here. I use the forwardness in the round pen and arena, and I do separation work with other horses to ask them to think back to me instead of about the other horses that we're riding with. So I find a lot of advantages to riding out here. Plus, it's not boring, and it's good conditioning. You got ups and downs, roundabouts. Um, I mean, an hour out here on the trails is better conditioning than about an hour and a half, or even maybe even 2 in an arena. That's my opinion. But you ask 1,000 horse trainers a question, and you'll get 1,000 different opinions. So, people do what works for them, and then they teach other people. Well, this works for me, so this is what I do. Yeah, well, you got to find what works for you and your horse and do that. I guess I'm talking to fill up space. Soundbite. Oh, I guess I should introduce our riding partners today. So we'll go ahead and stop and do a little turn on the haunches here. We're going to turn 180 degrees toward you. So stay right there for a second. There we go. Excuse you. There we go. Excuse you. Thank you. There we go. There's Adrian and Dakota. Dakota's being shy apparently. It's a little higher than whatever. Okay, anyhow, they're with us. They'll be behind us, they'll be in front of us, wherever they want to go, actually. I do like the horses I'm training to be in the lead. It's harder for them. It's emotionally more difficult. So I'm asking them I want to slowly enlarge their emotional jar, the amount of emotion they can take before they can't think anymore. So I want to make that jar bigger and bigger and bigger, and I also want to teach them to be able to empty the emotions out of that jar and calm themselves down. So I'll do work out here. If I feel that they're beyond reaching the point where they can't empty that jar fast enough, then I'll put them behind another horse, let them get that back down, and then put them back in the front. And this also, with the higher stress levels, and of course, when you get on the horse, you kind of disappear from them mentally. So you got to remind them that you're still there, and then teach them to reach back for security to you in the saddle. And by putting them in the front, it triggers their insecurity a little bit. And that permits me to teach them how to become more and more independent and secure on their own, and less dependent on others. Even if they're not dependent on me anymore, I still insist they reach back. I look at us as having 2 different jobs. My job is to make decisions and communicate my decision to my horse such that my horse can understand it. And then my horse's job is to do it. My horse is the doer, I'm the decider and communicator. So that's how I look at it. So in order for my horse to know what to do, they should be reaching back to me and asking my opinions and asking me for guidance or permission. That's one of my favorites. It's like, you want to do something, everybody trots by us, and you want to go with them, you should look back at me and say, may I trot too, please? And I will answer, absolutely, let's go do that. Well, there's a little water in that creek still. Oh, somebody's taking a horse down there. Huh. Oh, red fox running through the forest. I couldn't get my chest around enough for y'all to see that. Something you don't see in the daytime very often. Yeah, I can see right now that my camera is flipping around. Whoa, camera doesn't work. Even though I've got as tight as I can get it. It's not tight enough to prevent tipping forward. And I imagine that trot, it looked like it kind of sucked up and down. So good luck with y'all. I got a funny feeling this was only $15 harness on Amazon, made in China. So if it doesn't work out for trail riding, that's fine. It might have other uses and other activities. Although it's been a while since I did any snow skiing. Squirrel! Yeah, in the canter, it immediately fell forward. Yeah, and I've got the knob. I can't tighten it anymore. But his canter is huge up and down thing. And also, even though I've got the harness pretty tight, it's elastic. In the trot, the harness gives, and the camera's going like this. And it'd be better if this harness were just rigid webbing, and I could tighten it.
Yeah, right. Someone back. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, even in the trot, it fell forward. Gabby, his trot feels nice and loose today out here. Although he's not wanting to sustain it very long, but still, there's no restrictive feeling of any kind. Let's see now. Do we want to try the difficult water crossing first? Sure. Okay. We're going to go ahead and try the most difficult water crossing out here, going in this direction. It has gotten a little easier with bikers kind of making it a little flatter and stuff. But we'll give it a try. Mr. Danny had a lot of trouble with water at first. Actually his second creek crossing, he leaped it bigly. One of the biggest jumps I've ever been on a horse, actually. But since then, he's been stepping calmly through them. So, and you can see it's steep on this side. It's not as steep as it used to be. There was a root. Well, there is still a root sticking up on the right side, but the root in the middle is kind of gone. And so this whole thing is leveled out a little bit. So I'm just going to give him his head, let his head be down. I'm going to use my reins to guide where I want him to put his feet, and then let him step down into it. He's having a little trouble with it. He started to paw, which means he's got a little stress. He's a little upset. But he's got this. So you can see his head is all the way down. Oh, I think he just licked the water, and he just stepped through. The best thing you can let a horse do, you got to let their head go down. Otherwise, they're very likely to jump it if you hold their head up. They want to investigate for their safety. And so you want to let the head go down, and then, if possible, offer them a drink. If they'll lick and drink the water, then it becomes a simple process for them. It's like, oh, okay, I can step in that. And that's exactly what we did right there, was he actually licked the water as a taste. And where's my partner? What's he doing there? Oh, giving him a drink?
Yeah, I did. Normally after feeding in the morning,
Yep.
She goes to get the big old drink, and today I loaded her up right after, so I knew she was going to be.
Yep. Yeah, and actually he had just finished eating. He had his head in the round bill already. So theoretically, he would have gotten a drink after his feed. But that's the same thinking I do. Is, yeah, first stream you come to on the trail ride, see if they need a drink. Kind of rare, actually, but let's go the other way this time.
Yeah, usually she just walks through it, doesn't even.
Yeah. Oh, but it's great to not put the pressure on and let them let you know, hey, yeah, I'd like to get a drink here.
Yeah, it was totally her choice. Yeah.
I liked that we kind of went quite a ways up the hill, and she still said, no, I'm thirsty. I'm not following them yet.
Yeah, she didn't even.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't even worried about you.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, Mr. Danny.
Yeah, I'm going to leave her here while you head on up.
Oh, okay. How about if I trot? How about if I trot? That'll make it a little harder. Or canter. Good boy. You liked running up that hill, didn't you? Do what? Yeah. Pretty good, Ken. Nice. And so we left Adrian and Dakota back at that creek, cantered up the hill, and Mr. Danny. Dakota did great. She didn't care at all. And Danny didn't mind leaving her. That's the way it needs to be. The horse needs to be thinking about you. Now, it's easier for you to be in the one in the front leaving than it is to be the one in the back and having the horse leave you behind. You always want to start with taking your horse away in the front further and further and further away. I actually will take them until they tell me they're uncomfortable. I'll stop, turn around, and trot or canter by the folks that's my training show. I'll trot by the other direction behind them until my horse stops and says I'm uncomfortable. And I just keep going back and forth to their limits, stretching those limits. Growth occurs when you exceed your comfort zone. If you're always comfortable, you're not growing. So if you do, I mean, you might not want to grow, you might not need to grow, but it's always good with our horses, especially young horses, obviously. I'm a trainer. So to ask them to grow and exceed the boundaries of their knowledge, capability, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. So you got to take them out there. I mean, same with physical. Conditioning occurs by taking your body up to its limits, and then the body's going to adapt to those limits and say, well, if he wants more, I'm going to have it available to him, and more blood vessels build up in your muscles so it can bring more blood and oxygen and food and take away more of the bad stuff. And here we go. Let's just trot. No, let's just trot. And there goes my camera. Let's just trot. Good news, I can hold my camera with my right and steer my horse with my left. I've been working on him. I've been riding him mostly one-handed all the time. He rides two-handed really, really good. So I taught him a bearing rein, and which is basically like a neck rein. And most of the time, you can see my hand is down here, and when I steer, I just do a little tiny bit to one side, but I'm also using my legs. When I want to turn left, my right leg comes half an inch forward and my calf closes. At the same time, I add weight to my left stirrup as my weight aid and my hand. But my hand just comes a little left, and I pick up the inside rein with the finger a little bit. And if I need to, I'll pick up my other hand and use it. Okay, going down a pretty steep hill. I've been a little worried about Danny's rear end, the strength in it for sure, and whether there's something mechanical not quite working. Over the weekend, it looked, as I was watching Gabby, his owner, ride him. It looked really, really good. Very fluid and nothing looked stuck. I don't think that goes anywhere but out. Uh, and the test of whether you have, oops, oh, we're in the windy windies. Oops, I'm taking the biker's path. Forgot where I was. Too much talking. So anyhow, going down a steep hill with your horse, if your horse is having a lot of trouble with it, there's a good chance they have a physical issue in the hind end. Two most common ones are sacrum stuck or one or both SIs. Sometimes there's other things like the psoas muscle. It surrounds the girdle. It's inside, big, huge muscle inside the horse, and sometimes there's a lot of fascia in it that are bound up, and it's not working right. There's a lot of tension and even pain and discomfort in there. That actually creates a sore back because the bound up fascia pulls really hard on the ligaments, the tendons and the connective tissue, where it's all connected up to the top of the hip, and that can create a sore backed horse. But they'll have a lot of trouble going downhill if there's any, because you got to use your back end as your brakes going down the hill. So it's a good test to go down a steep hill. Now, good therapy is to ask them to back up steep hills, straight back up. And here we have another creek. This is probably the second most difficult, even though it's flat and broad. The rocks on both sides and the big rocks, flat rocks in the middle, make this what I call a compound obstacle because they can. And he stopped on his own here, and he's looking back to me for guidance. He just looked back and said, "What should I do here?" Or "I have a problem." So I'm going to keep a tiny bit of leg on. Most importantly, I'm looking at a tree, that tree on the other side of the creek, to let him know, I want you to take me to that tree. So he knows, oh, I need to take him to that tree, but I got this problem in front of me. Then basically let him solve this problem of, well, I guess I got to figure this out. I got to figure out how to cross this thing and get by these rocks. And this is easy. As soon as he touches the water and if he wants to, and you should be able to hear the sucking sound. That is a beautiful sound. When a horse is willing to drink out of the water, they're not afraid of anything. And they'll step right into it like it's a piece of cake. Good job, Danny. Very nice job. And he's not even done. You always want to make sure your reins are long enough. I've got a Macati on, so it's adjustable. And this guy's got a really long neck. I had to let out my reins a foot so that I can still sit in a normal riding position in the saddle with my hand down on his withers like this, and he can reach down and drink without me having to lean my shoulders forward and get in what could be a compromising position. Okay, so he's done drinking. He's just standing here because I don't have any energy in me. I'm going to look down the forest at a tree down there, add my legs and say, take me there. And he just steps into the creek like it's nothing and walks along. Cakewalk. I'm going to wait for my buddy because Dakota wanted to drink at the last stream. And this stream is deeper and has better water in it. And she said, nope, I'm good.
I thought she was going to get another sip, but you know, down there, right on the nose.
That's one of the best drinking streams right there. I don't know if...
Not the leaves, please?
I don't know. It's a little deeper. I don't know. I just for some reason I think the water tastes better to most horses because most everybody prefers to drink out of there. Boy, is it nice out here today, Adrian. Well, I guess we might as well get up this here hill with some energy. Hope that doesn't make you all sick when you watch that. I have no idea how this video is going to look. I'll go back and look at it. This might just not be a keeper. I have to actually hold the camera when we do that to so it doesn't fall forward. And Gabby, if you watch this, just FYI, when I'm cantering, I got one hand on the reins and loose rein. I'm giving him his head. Yep, there's a car there. So on his own, he came to a full stop. Not sure why. Could be a little worn out. He's not in the best of condition yet. Could be waiting for her. He looks back at her when she caught up. Not sure why he stopped. But generally, he was telling me something. He was talking to me. Or Dakota. His respiration rate is great. So he can't be that bad. But I guess for the listeners, he is heterogenetic. What's uh, shoot heterozygous? Yes, heterozygous. I guess it is for PSSM1. So he's got one gene from one of his parents for PSSM1. So his diet is being managed, and his exercise level is being managed, and we haven't done a muscle biopsy. Uh, but we really don't know to what extent, if any, if he might have any discomfort. What are you doing down there? Scratching your ankle. Okay. I guess we could call that a pastor. It's an ankle. You got knees and ankles and armpits and stuff. Sure, that's my story. Why don't you guys go ahead and take the lead? Why don't you guys go ahead and take the lead? It's not like he has a problem leading. I should probably get him used to further and further distances from behind.
Even the big gap that I left a couple times, we didn't tear it off. That's the right.
Left, please. I'm going to go right for a little ways and see what he does. So we might come thundering up behind you. So he's got an ear that's flicking back, his left ear flicking back to her. Other than that, he says, no, I'm okay. I'm going to go catch up to him. And wait, they're on the other side of that creek. I guess to catch up to him, I need to turn around. I think I can still meet him this way. We'll meet him this way. Now he's breathing. That brought his respiration up. You can do this. Yes, she's over there. I like to play trail games with horses to help teach them things. One of them's the simplest one is called leapfrog. The person in the back trots by everybody, takes the lead. The new person in the back trots by everybody, takes the lead. The whole idea is to teach the horse to think more about its rider than the other horses, to the point where you can ride independently, kind of like we're doing here. And you can see what he's doing with his head. She's over in the forest over there, and he knows it, so he keeps looking her way. But he's still got a little piece of him back on me. His right ear twitches back on me every once in a while, and he's doing what I'm asking him to do, so he's doing great. This would be a minor example of what I call starburst game. In the starburst game, you come to an intersection, and every rider goes a different direction on the intersection, and you get back together later. You sort it out, and you can see Dakota and Adrian over in the forest on a parallel path. So eventually we'll end up back together again. And your horses shouldn't be vocalizing to the other horses. If they do, they're thinking about that horse and they're trying to talk to it. That's not what they should be thinking about. They should be thinking about you. So I don't allow horses to vocalize when I'm on them. I give them the feedback and say, nope, that's not what you should be doing. And that, of course, when I give them that feedback, it brings their brain right back to me. Okay, and this is an example of park your horse, which normally you trot your horse ahead of everybody else. When you pass on the leapfrog, you keep going down the trail around the corner, find a place, stop, back off perpendicular, assume a loose rein. You let the other riders ride by you on a loose rein. Don't let your horse go anywhere. If they start to go, you pick up. You would, in this case, I would pick up my loose reins and grab down here and rock my horse back to where it was, and then let go again. And the idea being, and then you might only be able to wait for half a second before you tell your horse to go, but you don't let, like right there, he went on his own. You don't let, and I'm going to rock him back. You don't let your horse go. You arrest their movement, drop to a loose rein, and then tell them to go. They need to not move their feet on a loose rein for a split second. That split second will become longer and longer and longer until you can stand there for an hour if you want, not moving after everybody cantered by. Please.
Oh, couple deer up here.
Oh, I don't care. And so they're going. I'm still on my loose rein down here. And just when I think he can't take it anymore, right now, I'm going to ask him to move. That's how you build success versus building failure. Don't wait for your horse to fail. Tell them to do what you know they want to do before their feet move to do it. And if their feet are starting to move to do what they want to do, arrest their feet, let go for a split second, and then tell them to do that. even if that's not what you had in mind. The idea there is sometimes you change your mind to take advantage of your horse's brain and thinking to improve your horse. Generally, I like to say, if you know what your horse wants to do, tell him to do it. After a while, when your horse tells you what they want to do, you can say, wait for me. And you wait a second, and then you tell them to do it. And eventually, you play this game called Wait for Me. And that game is everybody canters by you, your horse looks back at you and says, may I go too, please? And you say, absolutely. And that's the wait for me. In that case, the horse looked back at you and waited for your decision as to what it can do, but it's asking permission. That's what I call a good horse. I want to keep that communication going. There are folks that say, I don't want to hear from my horse. I don't care what my horse thinks. Well, this is to me, the horse knows things I don't know. Their sensory systems range out to 5 miles, and mine don't. So the decision maker needs good information to make good decisions for the two of you. You're the decision maker, but your horse knows more things than you do. So I want to have a conversation going back and forth as we go down the trail of my horse keeping me informed, having a discussion, what'd you do last night in the pasture? How you guys doing? How you feeling? Talk about life, meaning of life, the planet, whatever you want. And let your horse talk back to you so they know you're listening and they can tell you how they feel, tell you what they're thinking about, and have that conversation go back and forth. They're not going to do that if they don't think anyone's listening. Listen to your horse. That stuff about horse whispering, nah. The very most important part of that is horse listening, not horse whispering. If you don't listen, when you whisper, they won't hear you. Hey, no, that's a little too close right there.
Left or right?
Oh, left, sorry. This is the one where you kind of go right to go left a little. The leaves are covering up all those slick rocks. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. So I picked up one rein to take away his back end because he auto-trotted down that hill. I wanted to have him use his back end, and part of that was because Dakota started going faster, and my horse cued off of her, and that would be a oh hell no moment right there. So I pick up one rein, indirect rein, take away the back end. I had to be careful right there because a good place to have your horse go down is if you take away the back legs with a disengagement on a slope like that. So I offset uphill with my own body, make sure I didn't overbalance my horse. Sometimes, if the situation had been dicey, I might have just let my horse do that and then set him up later on to learn that lesson in another safer place. But I felt at the time it was okay. Got her done. Right. That's a biker's path. They don't like to do these windy windies. They like straight downhill. I mean, we could take it too, but I like to go further. And at the bottom, we're going to turn left, go through that creek. And he wants to hurry downhill again. I'm saying nope. He wants to fall down the hill instead of rock back on his haunches and use his hips. There we go. There we go. Good job. Good job, Danny. That was good. I guess the big question for me is is my phone battery going to last long enough to record this ride? Not doing a long ride today. Maybe hour 15, hour 30. Okay, so she went left. I'm going to go right, which is hard. It's narrow, it's muddy, and it's in the water. And he did it with a flume, and he dropped his head down, checking out the water. If I wanted to, I could point him down this stream. If I wanted him to take a drink, you turn your horse 90 degrees. So all they see is downstream the water instead of crossing the water. They won't be in a hurry to cross it. They'll stand in it and they'll look down and get a drink. That's always a good thing to do. You guys be nice. Good job right there. Are you done? Nope. I love to hear that sound. Except you can't burp. You probably suck in a lot of air when you do that, huh? Okay, so he's done. So he just slowly walked out on his own. Let's see now. We will go left. Not sure we've ever done that. A little further today. So Gabby, he feels pretty good to me today. I haven't worn him out yet. His conditioning is getting better and better. But this is a pretty nice hill. Long, long hill to climb up. Well, dude, I think we're going to go up this hill. Our roots. Yep. Good job. Good job. Good job. Very nice. And you can always go by if you want to. Never feel like you have to fall in behind. Yeah, roots. Yeah, if you're ever gonna trip at the canter, this is the trail. Yeah, and some of them covered with leaves. You can't even see them. Yeah, this is South Wales. I think the last time it sold, it was $5 million. This used to be, do you know what Great Meadow is up in the plains? That's where they have the Gold Cup races, steeplechasing and stuff. Yeah. Well, this is where it used to be. All the fields out here and up here around the corner, there's actually the judges' tower still standing out in the field that the judges would be in with the timers and stuff, and that was on the top of the hill so they could see all the jumps and everywhere. And this is the actual estate. There's another outhouse that used to be the servants slash barn folks and a barn. The last folks that bought it aren't equestrians. First people to live out here that aren't equestrians. And they just grow crops in the fields now for the tax advantage. But there's a pretty cool wall around that house. Almost like a castle wall. You can see it right there. Guess I could have rotated my upper body and let you see a picture of the house the estate we're talking about. Let's see now, right there. Step back just a little bit for me, Danny. See if we can get that in there. There we go. Yeah, no. And this is the barn. I think between the two is the cottage. Oh, no, there's one of the cottages over there. I think there's another one in between somewhere, but that's the barn. Looks like it maybe, but the barn looks like another freaking house. I suspect the only thing in it is equipment. Warming up. Yay. Let's see now. Let's go the long way. Let's take the long way. Well,
Yesterday, Joy and I were about where the sign is coming up the hill. And over here's where, right about here is where we saw the other two horses.
oh, no, what? No, we're not going in there. What's up with that? There might be something edible in there. I wonder if you got to pee. You might want to go in there to pee, huh? He's not peed under saddle yet.
Did they plant all these raspberries, or was that a side effect of the last burn?
Uh, there are probably blackberries out here. Back at the house, most of those berries were planted. There's wineberries, raspberries, daffodils, and some other flowers, and wineberries, blackberry, raspberries. The blackberries just kind of grow wild everywhere.
Oh, okay. In the springtime, Dakota enjoys something messy.
Yes. Well, they've burned this place like 3 times because it has been overrun with the blackberries and the brambles. Uh, and they weren't planting anything. They just burn it and then leave it. And then they come out and burn it again. And these are forestry folks. I'm going, what the hell kind of forest management is that?
Yeah, what's the plan?
Yeah. They said they had one, but they didn't share it with anybody, and it didn't look like it was going so well. But after the last burn, I have no idea if they planted or what, but these pine trees started popping up. And I don't think those are natural. I think they planted them. That's a good thing. Eventually they'll end up with a pine forest, which they'll then be able to forest again and cut them down. That's the way you ought to be doing it. But it doesn't look like they systematically planted because they're not in rows and they're not that dense. But I don't know how dense you can plant pines and have them succeed, so what do I know? But yeah, during berry season, you could spend all day out here collecting berries. The wine berries are amazing. I've tried to actually put them in a container and take them home, and they don't survive it.
They don't survive the prep?
No, by the time you get back to your rig, it's just juice in your container.
Oh, okay. I thought you
There's,
ate them all.
no, there's no berries left. It's like you don't even see any solid matter. It's just juice left. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Even on a gaited horse. Are you grabbing anything? Sure. I'm gonna let him have a few bites. He'd been asking me. So there's some nice grass along the side of the. Yeah, I know. I can't really unzip my jacket with this thing on my chest. I'm actually sweating. It's been darn nice riding weather. I love good falls like this. Heck, I've had a couple of good winters that it's like, 50 degrees every day and dry, and you can ride all winter sometimes. That's when I get to ride my own horse. Okay? Okay. 5 bites. That's all you get. I know you got more than 5 already. We'll move along, get another 5 some other place. Nope. Yeah, I think this guy's starting to slow down. This guy's starting to slow down. Not quite. I mean, he's doing a lot better. I guess it was Lake Anna. Last time I rode Lake Anna, he did pretty darn good out there.
Okay.
He was pretty forward, had a good time. Yeah, Gabby, it was just me and Gabby.
Gabby's the owner?
Yeah,
It was Gabby on him or on Striker?
striker.
Okay.
I was trying to get her. She was at my farm yesterday. I was trying to get her to load up, and I didn't even get on him yesterday. She did all the riding. Usually she wants me to ride him first,
Okay.
and then she gets on. So I said, nope, I'm not doing that. And she got on him, and she enjoyed it. And I said, how about we load up and go to Whitney Forest? No, because I told her I wanted her to ride him. She's not ready to do that yet.
Just confidence, you think?
Yeah, she had never ridden out of an arena, and only recently she had only ridden in an indoor arena, and she just started riding in an outdoor arena, and she said that was scary because she'd just been used to riding indoors.
Huh.
And
Comfort of being enclosed, huh?
yeah, I mean there's there's an element of security with that, and I mean this is hard. I've had a lot of folks that ask me, they know I do this, and I've had a lot of folks ask me that are arena people, but they've kind of aged out, and they're like, I don't want to do that anymore, but I've never been on a trail, and it can be really scary and hard for them. I mean, we just start walking. Sometimes, depending on their horse, they'll be on my horse for their first time out, and I'll be on theirs just to show them theirs can do it. And sometimes their horse, needs some help out here too. It's scary for okay, that's enough of that sniffing. I mean, it is what it is. We all have our comfort zones and things. You cheat, growing up the way you did out there in the West, that's, you kind of wish everybody that rode horses as an adult started out like that.
Yes, that once they get on the trail a time or two, they probably appreciate it and enjoy it.
Not everyone. No, it's sometimes they just have trouble getting through that anxiety. Yeah. Funny thing is, I bet there's been more people hurt in the arena than out here on a trail. I mean, people get hurt in the arena all the time. Well, Gabby got dumped off of him. Actually, I don't think they were in the arena. I think they might have been going to and fro or something. Something like that. But he was a different horse. Not this horse.
I read somewhere, I don't remember who the author was, some time ago, but they'd written that in something like this, the horse has stimulation there, where in the arena they've been there, done that 1,000 times, and the monotony themselves can settle in, and they can sometimes feel a little frustrated just for no reason.
Well, frequently, this is my opinion, they're compressed. Everything about the rider wants absolute control, and it compresses the horse physically, emotionally, mentally. Here we go. Howdy. We'll find a place to get off the trail and let you come by, okay? No, you're good. No, you're good. Uh, I'm going to find a place and get off the trail and let you come by, okay? Well, okay. Well, okay, never mind. That's fine. No, you're good right there. Don't worry about it. I'm actually training him, so it'd be helpful for him to see you go by, but that's okay. We'll just,
See you on the next lap.
yeah, good. Oh, he's still coming. But our horses are all good with this. I appreciate you,
Oh, no problem.
You can go by. Don't worry.
All right, well, just, you never know about horses.
Yeah,
True, but they need the interaction.
We have a slightly different perspective.
Gotcha. Yeah, we want the exposure. If he's a little worried, that's okay.
Just go for it.
She needs to adapt. She needs to. We're okay. You're okay. You're okay, girl. You're okay. I'm gonna follow you for a moment. Okay.
Enjoy the trails. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sure. And that's how we do it. Now, I'd prefer that we pull off the trail and he rode by us, but that's okay. He's trying to be very respectful. He was worried about us, and I want to cherish that. That's something to cherish right there, gentlemen like that. Exactly. The judge's tire, yep. There'd be jumps all over the field. Probably. I don't know. Why would there be any deer out there? Maybe before they cut the crops down, I suppose. I mean, there for years there weren't even any deer in here. Years and years. But then, I don't know, about 8 years ago, they started doing a controlled hunt, a lottery deal. I don't know how many hunters they let in, but there'd be 2 days during hunting season that they'd let, excuse you, what are we doing? We're smelling horse poop. Somebody might have gotten off and, oh, we got to take a quick video of the gnome village. I don't know if you can see that here because it's all shadow. I'll zoom in. Maybe you can see inside the gnome village. I don't think so. I think the sun's shining too much. There's a hollow of a tree here. Anyhow, there we go. And we're going to come to another little creek crossing down here, which I'm sure he will take with great dignity. We've gotten so good at these things. Oh, there's barely any water in it. Again, we'll let his head go down to investigate. While his head is down, I'll ask him to go forward, add my legs, get a step, take the legs off, and then keep looking at the tree up there ahead of me, and he'll press on up like it was nothing. And now that the code is across, we're going to go ahead and speed things up a little. Come on. Oh, that's a big canter. Hard to move your hips as much as this horse moves when he moves. Yeah, time to put another quarter in my horse. Timer's running out. Come on. Come on. Sorry we're so slow, Adrian. So I dropped my reins on my horn. My hands are free. So I'm just going to ride him for a little bit without any hands. Generally, I like to, a lot of young horses, I like to, last 15 or 20 minutes of the ride, I like to take my hands off and let them be steered with the rest of my aids. And if I have to pick up my hands, I absolutely will. If they don't understand what's going on, that's okay. A certain amount of freedom a horse feels when they don't feel your hands in their mouth at all. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good boy. And yes, I did pick my reins up just in case. I have been working with a seat stop for him, but I'm not going to say it's going to work. Oh, if you want, we can turn left here and then turn right, and I don't know how much longer you want to ride, or we can come down here and turn left and turn left.
My sister, let me grab the coat.
Oh, sure. See how much battery I have remaining. 69%. Yikes, nice. Been recording for how long? Hour 7, okay. Huh. Where you going? I didn't ask for that. So he's got the faraway look. There's something he's sensing in the distance. And I'm going to let him do that. I like to pet a horse's neck when they do that to let them know, hey, I hear you. There's something up there. So they can think, I just saw something. Oh, and my rider's talking to me. I want them to still have a piece of their brain with me. But I also want to tell them, I hear you and I appreciate that. Talk to me some more about stuff you hear and see or smell. Absolutely. Everything okay?
Yeah, my sister is trying to find out about my brother.
Okay.
My brother has diabetes, and he's in the hospital due to complications of diabetes. Well, my sister has, let's see, she has herself and a grandson with diabetes.
Oh,
So, yeah.
wow.
And my brother, he has his one, and he has, his oldest daughter was actually born with it.
Oh, type 1?
I don't
It
remember.
must be type 1, yeah.
Type 1's the one you're born with?
Yeah. Well, they call it childhood diabetes. Usually most folks have type 1. It shows up usually before their teenage years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids that don't make it with type 1. I think they're getting better at managing it. They have to have an insulin pump, and now they've got permanently attached a sensor and a pump that just kind of manages it for them.
My sister was telling me her grandson has that, and then the data is sent to like his mom and dad, my sister, the grandma.
Oh.
And then the doctor has access to it if he chooses to read it.
Right. But I would imagine they might have an alarm set off, so if it hits too high or too low or something on the glucose levels.
Yeah, I didn't know. She told me about this last night. So Dakota knows her trailer's over that way.
Oh, hell yeah.
So she's acting like a stinker.
Oh, yeah.
Wanting to.
Oh, yeah. All my horses out here. It's funny. You'll be way out there. You come to an intersection. If I'm riding like this on my own horse, he'll turn toward the trailer. I'll put my inputs in. Go, no, we're not done yet. And he'll go, I'm done. And they always know where the trailer is.
Pretty smart animal.
Yeah. Well, it could be a place you've never ridden, and they know where the trailer is. Don't. Thank you. Yes, she is kind of pretty, isn't she? Get up on. Get up off the gravel here. Thank you. Whoops! Forgot to grab my camera. Want to do a little downhill trotting here. Ask him to get up off his front. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. That'll do. Good. Very nice. Very nice. I need it to rain a day and be dry for 6 days. Rain a day. I don't want a drought, but days like this are really nice. This is great. The weekend was darn good. Where'd you guys ride? Oh, you came out here, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. The goal was, well, to ride, exercise, but also to look for that boot.
Yeah. I actually haven't been looking around that much.
We've given up,
Well, all the leaves produce these dark shadows too.
Yeah.
So you have all these, and then depending on which way the sun is, you can't see anything going that way right now.
Yeah.
So,
Julia reached out to Kim and some people like that, who knows here.
yeah, keep an eye out for it. It's a nice left lead with energy going up a hill. Whee! What a nice canter that one is. Yes, good boy. You can come down. There you go. There you go. There you go. Very nice. Oh, that was nice. Good job. And his respiration came up quite a bit. That's okay. You get tomorrow off, Danny. Yeah, we'll give you tomorrow off. Squirrel! Squirrels everywhere. Good job. You're okay. You're okay. Milton House. What the heck? Somebody's calling me. Well, somebody called me in the middle of that. Now my mic. Whatever. Forgot to put on Do Not Disturb. But I probably shouldn't be out in the forest and put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't know. Let's go left. Sure. Why not? I think he's enjoying his canners. That's getting very free. He's feeling stronger. Yep, she's back there. And hope. Excuse you. Excuse you. Thank you. Oh, whoa. Oh, that's a long ways down. That's a long ways down. Go ahead.
Okay. No.
Yeah, it warmed up. Excuse me. Thank you. So there you go, folks. There's a training sortie with Mr. Dave and Danny. You know, every horse, every sortie has different training objectives for that day. A lot of my training objectives today with Danny is actually physical, helping him build up his stamina and strength. His brain, as in his emotions, he's done really, really good. I think in my view, he only made one mistake today. That was when we were going down that hill, and Dakota had lots of energy and he wanted to run down that hill. Other than that, he didn't really make any mistakes. Real good horse, Danny. Very good. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.